Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. We are going to continue going on around the field. I'm going to do 3 times around the field, and then when I've done 3 times around the field, we will go back round and we will just finish up with a final pass around the field going backwards, just to take out that last little bit, and then we will put the hired help going and let the hired help do the rest of it. The reason I want to do it like that is because if we put the hired help going with a ring of grass around the edge of the field, there is a chance that the hired help is going to behave in a very peculiar fashion and is going to try to go out to the very edge of the field and get that bit of grass as well. So if we go round and we make sure that we remove that, it should eliminate the chance of the hired help doing anything particularly weird. So we're finished doing this round. We will go backwards around the field once. We'll also do a few passes around the edge of the big rock there in the middle. And then when we've done all of that, then we can set the hired help going. And we will watch it for a bit, just make sure that it's got the idea and it is doing everything that it should do. So long as everything is going alright, we're then going to get our chainsaw and we're going to start cutting down a few trees while the tractor and the hired help carries on and does the mowing in here. And I'm going to cut a straight line up towards the giant, but well, actually what we'll do is we'll go up to the boulder and we'll work our way from there back down to the field down here. It'll be easier, I think, to see where we're going and what we're doing. And then once we've done that, we should, in theory, have a clean and tidy, marked out future field that we'll then be able to go to. And yes, we are, for those of you who missed yesterday's episode, we are cutting a little bit early on this. We could leave it go for a little bit longer so that we get the longer growth on the new bit of field. However, the price of silage at the moment at $297 per 1,000 litres is going to give us a fraction shy of $1,200 a bale. And I didn't really want to be storing the bales in the yard. I know that we can, and it would be fairly easy. It's just that I didn't really want the hassle. That trailer is not particularly good for storing anything in anyway, because it only unloads onto the trailer, and then you've got to tip it up, and you've got to tip all of the bales off of the trailer, and it doesn't make it very easy to do anything with if you're having to upend the trailer to tip the bales off. We can use it certainly for doing when it comes to selling the bales, because we can just tip them off onto the sell point, and then any that do roll off to the side and don't get sold properly, we can just go and pick them up and we can move them round, put them back onto the sell point. So we shouldn't have any issues with that. Right, there is 3 times round. So now we will switch back round like this and start mowing in the opposite direction. Now normally when you're mowing a field, you wouldn't do this now. This would be a bit that you would go and do at the very end of your mowing job. This would be the last thing that you would do, because this is where you're most likely to encounter stones and sticks and other things that could damage your mower. You're more likely to hit a tree or a gate post or something. Frithgar, I'm looking directly at you. Yes, that is something I did. Final round on the... I mowed the entire field. Final round on the field. I did the entire pass on the field, and it was the last bit, literally, just as I was coming to the very end of the field. Went round a corner and walloped a fence post and put a big dent in the mower. Brand new mower. That was the first time it had ever been used. To say that the owner of said mower was not very pleased with it would be an understatement, to say the least. And they weren't very happy with my... when I sort of tried to defend it, saying because they said to me, well, you know, you go and take a new mower and the first thing you do is go and dent it up on the gate, on the fence post. And I said, no, I didn't. I mowed all of the field first. That was the last thing I did. That didn't go down too well. They felt that I wasn't sorry enough for what I'd done. That's what they said. You don't seem very sorry about this. I said, I am sorry, but I did at least mow the whole field first. No, they weren't buying it. They sulked about that for a week. And all it was the guard on the outside of the mower. It didn't actually do any damage to the mower itself. I will just point that out. In my defense, I didn't do any damage to the actual mower itself. The mower survived perfectly fine, intact. There was no issues with it whatsoever, so I really don't know what all the fuss was about. Okay, maybe a little bit. I understand what the fuss was about. You know, it was a brand new mower. I shouldn't really have gone and done that. But anyway, that was a long time ago, many years ago. So there's no point in dwelling on the past. Yeah, so normally in real life you would do this pass, this would be the last thing you do. But like I said, the hired help can sometimes get a little bit funny, so if we do it now, it'll stop the hired help from behaving very weirdly, and everything should be all tickety-boo and okay. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to here, we're going to lower you down, and we're going to do a few passes around the outside of this rock. Now, we're going to do this a little bit slower than we have been traveling around most of the field, because I don't want to get too close to the rock with the cut edge for when we've got to come back through with doing the rowing up. And I'll probably do what I have done the last couple of times that we've done silage, and that is, we'll go round and we will manually row up ourselves. Well, I've only done, I did just like one pass. I think we'll do two. We'll do 2 rounds around the outside of the field, and we'll do 2 rounds around the rock. And then when we've done that, we'll stop and we'll get the baler and we'll bale everything up. And then after that, we will get the hired help going. And you know, I don't need to mow all the way out there like that. Not on the top and bottom edges, because we're not going to be turning on those bits, and it would probably make it easier for the hired help to work if I kept it in like that and then came out like that. Just saying, just putting it out there. We may have made a mistake doing that. We'll see how it works out. Right, and now we need to do 1 pass in here. So yeah, if I do 2 rounds with the rake, and then once we've done our 2 rounds around the outside with the rake, we can then go round, do the baling, and we'll go through and we'll gather up the we'll wrap the bales, and then once that bit is all done, then we can come back. We'll put the hired help going with gathering up all of the, not gathering up, with rowing up. It is sort of gathering. It's gathering up all the grass, isn't it? And we'll put them going with the raking, and we can go on with doing the baling at the same time. Right. So we'll switch that one off there. Now we go up this way. And this is where we have to hope that none of those tree stumps, that there are tree stumps in this field. There are tree stumps come out, but I don't think they come out this far. I think we're safely avoiding them out this far. So let's go there, and I'll put the hired help going, and we'll see how they do. I know there is one annoying thing with hired help in that they do. Right, it's going to come on down here. They do end up, and also because of the straight line on here. So what I might do, so he's going to come to there, and they do that weird thing like that as well. Okay, I'm not really sure what he's going to try and do, because there may be a tree stump in the way of where he's trying to turn round, which could make it a little bit difficult. So if we just come back here, like this, and then line it up for another pass, right there, I'm hoping he'll go all the way down to the end of the field and then turn round. Because I don't think there's any tree stumps out this far. I think they're all further back in. It's going to take a little bit to actually find where all the tree stumps are. That's one thing that is going to be a little bit troublesome and tiresome and time-consuming, is finding where all these stumps are. Because when I did my sort of trial dig all the way up through there were quite a number. I think I counted something like 10 different tree stumps, the full length of the field. Each and every one of them just underneath the surface. So we cut the tips off when we went through with the machine to go and remove the tree stumps, but we didn't quite get them all. This is the bit with the hired help that is slightly annoying, but there's nothing that we can do about this. We can't stop it from doing this and behaving in this way, and then it drives down across the grass like this. There's absolutely no way of stopping it from doing that, unfortunately. So you've got to just kind of ignore that it does drive on the grass like that and let it carry on and do the job. It is at least doing all the mowing. We've got that, you know, we can say that it is doing the mowing and it's doing a great job. It's got a nice, we do have a nice big field now. Like, this is actually a substantial sized field, and once we, obviously once we've done this cut, the next cut that we do, the whole field will be, we won't be cutting it until it gets to the second growth stage, the second harvest stage, which means that we'll get a bigger yield off of the field, and that I think is going to be very, very awesome. Just letting him turn round there, and he's away. We'll jump off the tractor once we get down to the other end. There we go. He's doing a grand job of this. Yeah, it's going to be a little while before it actually gets to the rock over there. It's got a big enough area now. It's not coming into contact with any of the tree stumps along the edge of the field over there, so we don't need to worry about that, which means that we can skip off over here, and we're going to go, you know what, I'm thinking maybe we should just, we could watch it. No, we've seen mowing, and we will see plenty more mowing, so let's just jump off a minute, and we're going to go up here, and we're going to start this next job up here. We're going to just start getting going with the chainsaw. And there's a couple of points where we're going to need to cut. We've already cut a tree, I think, up here. Yeah, I did. I already cut one tree right there. So we've got this great big rock right here. And I'm thinking that we should go out that way. And so we have a dogleg bit up here. And I said in the last episode, somebody suggested we use that dogleg for an animal pen. And I actually really like this idea. I do think it would be quite cool to use that as an animal pen. So I'm going to just run in a straight line down here a minute and just see if this is where we want to put... Let's just jump sideways a little bit. Is that where we're going to want roughly? I think it is. The line for the trees coming down through. You do have to... Oh, okay, I'm way off going back up again. But yeah, if I take here... And I kind of want to cut down that way, and it's because I want to get it lined up on the map. It's a job to see on there because of the color of the grass in behind it. It goes slightly translucent, doesn't it? But that's roughly the direction that we want to be heading, is straight down here, like this. So we'll come to here. I'm going to remove this tree here because it's really close to the edge. So we'll take that one out, right there, and I'll clean it up. And then, obviously, we definitely want that tree right there. We've got to watch where we cut these trees as well, otherwise we're going to end up with logs rolling all the way down. I should fell them all uphill. If I fell them so that they fall uphill, that would be the safest way of doing it, I think. So we'll chop that one off there, and we'll cut you in half, like that. And then this one over here. Right, we start felling uphill. So bring you over there. And chop you through there. And Helper B, we can see him down the bottom. He's busy working away. He's doing an absolutely grand job. So long as Helper B keeps doing what he's doing, all will be well. We won't have any issues with anybody, with anything. That should all be cut. I don't know how well it's going to be cut. Bring that over there, on there like that. Perfect. Right. Now we move back up again, and we take our line. Right, we don't want our line out there. I think we want our line to go straight through there, is it? I think it's straight down through here. I might have... Do I want to adjust it slightly from there? Right, we do want to make a slight adjustment on that line. And kind of, because I'm looking at where the road is, and also where the boulder is. So I want to go from that point on the boulder, and I kind of want to go in line with that tree, don't I? I kind of want to go straight in line with that tree right there. So let's fell that one a minute. We'll knock that one uphill. Chop you off of there. I don't know how wide this section is going to be. Right, I can see the road through there, but once... I mean, you sort of don't really realise until you start cutting things down and getting a general idea of what things look like once they're all on the ground. Going along and just sort of pacing it out a minute to start with, you don't get like a full picture of what it can look like. So we could end up with a field here that is a bit smaller than is particularly useful. Right, this one right here, I'll take that one up there, like that. And then I'll come down here and we'll cut there, I think, like that. That should be cut pretty much in half, I think. Right, so that's where that one is. So I want to go back up here and then turn around and line up again. And it was roughly there, I think, because there's the road, or part of the road, so I want to be heading that way, just to that side of that little tree down there. I don't know if you can quite see it. And that should take me, yes, directly in line with the other tree that was there. They're still not quite enough. I still don't think that's quite enough. I don't think we're moving over quite enough. We're going to end up having too narrow a strip. So there is wrong. I need to move right actually, that tall tree there. If we go directly in line with that one, let's see what that does once we get down here. If I go directly in line with that one, that's in line with another one. That's actually right. Okay, that's spot on perfect. So I do want to remove those 3 trees there will be removed. But it's that one there that we're in line with and that one there that we're also in line with. So I'm going to cut those 2 down first. They're sort of the edge of where the field is going to go. And obviously it's not going to make a huge amount of difference right now. It's when we come to cut the field out, when we come to like do the cultivating and that. And also this is quite steep ground. So this could be quite interesting once we've got the field established. It could be quite interesting trying to work it as well. We may need a more powerful machine to be able to work the steep ground, because it is quite steep. Cut you there. And the really steep ground, is obviously it presents more of a challenge to the tractors going up and down the hills. You've either got to have quite small machinery, or you've got to have a quite substantial amount of horsepower. And fortunately, our machinery is not particularly big, so we should be alright with that. Just bring you over here and start cutting that one up through. We'll go and check on the hired help in just a minute, see how that's getting on. I'll cut down a couple more trees just so that we've got most of this one all marked out now. So I want to go from there. It's that one there next that I want to go to and take you out. Just chop you down there. Right. We've got a nice big area of grass down there. He's still chugging away. It's going to take quite a while to get through it all, though, isn't it? Right, he's got quite a lot of grass there to actually cover. We don't kind of realise just how much we've got, which is, you know, it's surprising just how much grass we've got down there. Now, in theory, those over there should stay. That one needs to be cut. That's the open edge. There he is. He's gone over that way. So let's right, tab into it over here. And he's working the really, really small slice right here at the moment. It wasn't supposed to do that. It was supposed to work the long slice first. Oh well, we'll let him do that. So he's done that, and he's gone up. So all we really need to do is we'll let him do this bit over here, and he's gonna just mess around with that for a minute or two. So we'll leave him doing the messing around, and we'll have to run over here, go back to doing our chainsawing, and then we'll come back and we hopefully catch him before he starts doing the long runs on the field up through there. So this one here should be those. Should be alright. Yeah, it's over this way a bit, isn't it? Is this where the gap is? This should be where the gap is. Yes. Right. We've got that there, and then we've got that tree there, and I think those two we don't need to worry about. So I'll take this one here. We'll chop that one down. And I think we don't need to worry about those two. We'll go back up in a minute and we'll have another look, but we might have to take out those two short ones. Just so that we've got like a square edge of where our new field's going to be, and then everything on the inside of this, once we've got it marked, it's then really easy to go through and remove all the rest of the timber that we want to remove on here. We don't have to remove it all. We're not bound. We're not bound to stay within the straight lines or anything. It's just that it's easier once we've got it marked out to be able to say that's where we're going to go. So we've got $390 in wage payments for the last hour. So we've got that bit right there. And if we run back up here, there's that tree there I wanted to remove just because I think that one might be in the way. So we'll take that one out, and helper B is... We'll go and check as soon as we've got back up to the top here. We'll double check our line, and we'll go back down and we'll see helper B, because I suspect he's getting near the end of that little patch. We've got that bit right there. Come on, get round that. And take you off. There, like that. Right. Now we go back over to here. End of the rock. And I kind of want to go through... Well, it's kind of like there. That's the point where we're heading, is straight down there. And it's in line with those trees that we said about. And these two small ones down here, they are actually right on the very edge of it. That one is... He's turning again, so we'll take these two out a second. Or at least I'll take one of them out. We've got the other one still to take out. We just want to keep an eye on that one down there. Let me tidy this one up. Actually, let's not even do that. Let's just go straight over and have a look. Okay, he's got 2 more passes on it, I think. We'll stick with him for this. Just for this little bit, we'll stick with him. Because we're going to want him to... Yeah, we're going to want to take him and have him doing some more work over there in just a minute. So he'll go up there, and then he's going to come back, and then he'll go up once more. I think that will actually work out all right. So he's going to go up to that point, and then he's going to turn round. And we'll let him do that. So he'll turn round there. And he should, in theory, with the next pass, it'd be driving where the tractor is now. I think he'll go up and then try and turn round again. I don't know if he's going to try to turn round again. He's definitely done that bit all right. But it's whether he tries to turn round again once he gets up to the top end there, because... Yes, he will. He will try to turn around because the tractor's not going to be able to get round that one. Which means that he's going to want to come down past the rock. And I think that's where I want the next pass to be. I want it to get to here. Up to that point right there. And I want it to stop. Right. We'll let that one stop there, and I'm hoping that the hired help will now work this side of the rock, and we'll go all the way up through, and it will just do forward and back until it gets to the other side, and then it will take out that last little section down there. That's what I'm hoping. Whether or not this is actually going to work remains to be seen, but I'm hoping that's what it's going to do. So that one can go up through there, and you'll take that bit out just like that. Any issues, and we've got those 2 little small trees right there to take out, and that's actually not a bad width on the bottom half of this field, so we've got a reasonable bit of land there that we can use. So let me skip off a minute. That one can carry on doing that, and I will run up here and just take out these last 2 trees. I've got this one here to tidy up, cut in half, and then we got one more that we want to cut, and we've got the edge, the outer edge of our field marked. We haven't got the top bit marked out yet, but that's not quite so important because that's just kind of the dogleg bit. And so it's not quite so crucial that we get a straight line on that. I only want a straight line on this so that I can have... just to kind of see where everything's going to go on it. right? If we've got a decent straight line on here. I'm also wondering, because look, if you look down here, that's where the straight line is up through here. So really a 90-degree line off of there. We're slightly off of a 90-degree line, aren't we? Only a little bit. If you look at... Right, that's where I'm looking at there. So that would be a 90-degree line off of it. Oh, okay, we're quite a long way off of a 90-degree line. 45-degree angle would be about there, which is actually in line with the road. So we might be able to have hired help following the edge of that field along the road side, or even along this side. Doesn't really matter which one. But that might actually work. That might sort of be in our favour. That might be. We'll have to see. And that's really annoying. Okay. If I cut that there, I should be able to pick it up and move it. Yes. Alright, perfect. Now I can go along and just trim the edge of that one. There we go. Right. So that is done. We've now marked out where the edge of the field is. All the way up through. We've got our rocks. We've got our trees felled all the way up through. I want to take out these two, because they're going to be really close to the edge of the field, and we don't want anything too close to the edge of the field. It does make life difficult for us. And yes, apparently though, the thing that makes life most difficult for us is rogue tree stumps. If we've got rogue tree stumps stuck in the way, that's going to make life a lot more difficult than anything else will. So we'll take a little slice on up through here, and then we come back through and we cut. This one's going to have to be cut into 4 pieces. There we go, all the way up through to there, and we're looking at about there, I think. About there. I am curious how much faster the Scorpion is going to be. It'll take a minute or two for us to get used to driving the Scorpion around and so on. But once you do get used to it, once you get your eye in on the thing, it's actually very, very good. I do get on quite well with using the tree harvester, and it does speed the process up a bit. It may not necessarily speed it up quite as much as we want. You know, we seem to be doing reasonably well. Oh, that's one of those weird ones. You can tell that by the way it fell over. See? Instantly right there. So that's one that we're going to have to pick up and put into a trailer ourselves. So I'll leave that one. I won't actually cut it. This one here, I'm going to cut this one down. There. And I think that's everything that I want to cut down on that side. Or do I want to... I think I want to cut that one as well. Well, let's remove this one. There may be another couple of trees on this side that we want to take down. Cutting down a few extra trees is definitely not a bad thing, because all of it ends up getting sold. So we make money on the whole lot. But we haven't really got time to go and cut down too many more trees today. We'll cut this one down. That one right there, that one can go down. I'll chop that one so he's falling downhill rather than uphill, because otherwise he's going to land on a rock, and then that's just going to be in the way. That one can stay there. So actually, I've never really done much in the way of tree felling. I've done a little bit, but small trees. I've never really done any serious kind of tree felling forestry work. So anybody that has, is it safer to cut the tree uphill or downhill? Because I don't actually know. And I'm sort of looking at this, and I'm thinking, whilst uphill does kind of feel like a logical choice to me, you know, felling the tree uphill does sort of feel like a logical option, and it would sort of feel like that would be the safer of the two. I'm then thinking that you're more likely to have the tree kick up and back and possibly put you in quite a bit of a danger zone if you're doing that. So maybe shift tab to go into it. Right. Maybe I should be trying to fell the trees downhill. Maybe that would be safer, because then the tree's falling well away from me, and it's less likely to have any kickback that's going to come up and actually do me some physical damage. So anybody that knows anything about serious forestry work, could you please let me know, should I be felling my trees uphill or downhill? I've absolutely no clue myself. This field is actually really, really big. Right, this field is far bigger than I first gave it credit for. We've been... We started in the last episode, we started doing some mowing, and this entire episode we've been mowing continuously. We haven't stopped with the mowing. I know it took a little while to do the short work, the other side of the big boulder there, but it's still kept going, and now we've got all the long runs up here. So he's doing a lot of mowing. We can see how much he's done in a single day. We just go here, and we go time played, missions, trees. Does it say mowing? Sowing, harvesting, driving, worked time, harvested hectares. 3 hectares we've done so far in today's episode. This counts as harvesting. So we've harvested 3 hectares of land already, and we're what, maybe just over half? So it's probably a 6 hectare field, which I don't actually know what the conversion rate is. I'm just going, I have my phone right here. I'm going to my phone right now. 6 hectares, which is what we're guessing roughly this field is, maybe a little bit less. There's almost 15 acres. So if we said that this is a 14-acre field, one of the first farms that I ever worked on, they had some fields that I thought were a reasonable size. You know, they were the 8 to 10 acre fields. And for tractors of this size, mowers of this size, those are a fair size field. Their biggest one was a 14-acre field, and that was always that was the big field. That was always known as the big field, a 14-acre field, and that's what we've got right here, 14 acres. It is a fairly substantial field, right? There's no getting around the fact that this is quite a lot of land all rolled into one. So I'm thinking that one of the next things that we need to do is upgrade our mowers. Right, we can go and we can take our tractor, we can put front links on this tractor, and we can have a front mounted mower. So we are able to do that. I could have a front mounted mower alongside this one, and that is going to really speed the job up no end. That's really, really going to speed everything up. We're not going to do it today, but we will at the beginning of the next episode. We will see if this one, once he comes back again, he's going to turn around now, he's going to go back up across there. Once he comes back again, I'm hoping he will go right down to the very end of the field. At least that's what I'm hoping. But that is all we got time for today, so if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.